In this video 6.5, we are going to be looking at solving inequalities by adding or subtracting. By the end of the video and work time in class, you should be able to say, I can write and solve inequalities. An inequality is a math sentence that will have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal. We're going to do a couple examples of graphing these inequalities. Let's start with x can be anything less than 3. When we graph these on a number line, I'm going to say 0 is here in the center. It doesn't have to be, but that's where I'm going to place it. And then we're going to locate 3. 3 would be right here. I'm going to put a circle. Now notice that circle at 3 is an open circle. And the reason why it's an open circle is because 3 is not a value. Anything less than 3 is a value. So then I'm going to shade everything to the left all the way to the arrow, and then I'm going to shade the arrow. And so this is showing us that everything shaded is a solution. 0 is less than 3. -2 is less than 3. -50 is less than 3 because it's going on to infinity in that direction. 3, however, is not a solution, so it's an open circle. See, if we had something like x is anything greater than or equal to, let's say, -3, and I have 0 here, and -3 is located right here. Now, instead of an open, I'm going to close it. That means -3 is a solution because the inequality says greater than or equal to. So that value is a solution, and anything greater than -3. And anything greater than the -3 would be shaded this direction, and you shade all the way until you get to the arrow. So 0 is greater than -3, 2 is greater than -3, 10, 24, so anything in that direction. We're going to be solving inequalities, and when we solve inequalities, we follow the addition and subtraction properties of inequalities. It's basically the same as when you have an equation where whatever you do to one side, you do to the other, and it remains balanced. Where in an inequality, if you add or subtract the same number on each side of the inequality, that relationship with the inequality still remains the same, as long as whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So what you want to do is solve just like if it was an equation. You want to get the r alone, so you want to get rid of the -9, so you're going to add 9 to both sides. So you're left with r is greater than 17. This would be your solution, and then in graphing that, r is greater than 17, I would, I'm just going to say that this is, let's see here. We'll say this is 0, and I'm going to go up by, let's say, 5s. So then 17 is right about in here. This would be an open circle because 17 is not a solution, and r can be anything greater than 17, so we're going to shade to the right. And you can check, check something that is shaded. For example, 25 is shaded. So I'm going to put 25 in for r. 25 minus 9 gives me 16. Is 16 greater than 8? Well, yeah. So we have the correct area shaded on our number line. X plus 6 is greater than or equal to 4. So I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides using our property. So x is greater than or equal to -2. So when we graph it on a number line, I'm going to say 0 is here. So negative 2, I'm going to write negative 2 here. This would be a closed circle because negative 2 is a solution since it says anything greater than or equal to negative 2. So it can be negative 2, and anything greater than is shaded to the right. And you can plug something in like 0 is shaded. So come up here, plug 0 in. 0 plus 6 is 6, and 6 is greater than or equal to 4. Here to get the x alone, you would add 14. And this one, here's my number line. Here's 0. 1 would have an open circle because it doesn't say less than or equal to. It says just less than. So it's open, and anything less than is shaded to the left. Check my work. And like 10 would be shaded. So if I come right here, 10 minus 14, and that gives me, let's see here, negative 4. And negative 4 is less than negative, oh, what am I doing here? Not 10. 10 isn't shaded. I meant negative 10. So if I put negative 10 here for x, and negative 10 minus 14 gives you negative 24, and negative 24 is less than negative 13. I was saying 10 was shaded, and obviously it's not negative 10. And then negative 10 works, so that is a solution. Try 0. 0 minus 14 gives you negative 14, which is less than negative 13. All right. You also have to be able to take a word problem and write the inequality and solve it. A lamp can use light bulbs of up to 75 watts. The lamp is using a 45-watt bulb. At most, how many watts are available for a brighter light? So at most, it's less than or equal to 75 watts. So how many more watts in addition to the 45 that it already is using? And see, it's less than or equal to because it said at most. How many watts? Let's see, for something up to 75 helped me figure out that it was going to be less than or equal to 75. So then I'm going to subtract 45. 0, so the wattage is less than or equal to 30. So at most, I could put 30, not walls, but watts in for brighter light. Can you say I can write and solve inequalities? Here is your output for your notebook. Be prepared with any questions for the work time in class.